What's happening, gang? Paul with StudPack. Welcome back to the channel. I am actually in Summer and Rad's garage. We're renovating their house, so that's why the garage looks like a bomb went off. We got all my tools in here. We got all the extra flooring for the upstairs and the stairway. And we got these two huge boxes and these two little ones. They're right in my way. So in this video, we're gonna install what's inside them. What is it? It's a mini split system for the garage. Really excited about that. Cooling and heating in the garage. We have a hard freeze here in Texas next week, so we're gonna give the heating system a run for its money and test it out. The first step we gotta do, decide where to put it. In this garage, we have 2x12 framing going this way, 16 inches on center. Oops, so it's gonna be perfect right here in the middle of the room. Now this light and this fan are completely in our way. They go away anyway, so we're gonna remove those and start our installation. We'll see you in a minute. All right, while I was in the attic, removing the ceiling fan, removing the light, Rad started to unbox all of our contents. Now, the first thing on top is this massive template. And the first thing I noticed when I came down was the air outlet with all of these arrows pointing that way. That told me that this is a one-way unit. In fact, it says it on the box. It's one way. The air just flows in one direction as it comes out the unit. So I knew from my HVAC days that if we put this in the middle, the air is gonna blow that way towards Rad, towards the camera, get pulled back into the unit right here. And in cooling mode, this side of the room is gonna be cooler than that side. It's not what we want. We want this to be at one of the edges of the room so we get even cooling, even heating. So we're actually gonna move our location to over there, centered on that window a couple of feet from the wall. It works really well for us because our outdoor unit is gonna be right on the other side of that Sasquatch sign. Easy run for the Lineset. Let's move our operation over there, mark the ceiling, attach our template, start cutting some drywall. And that light and the ceiling fan, they were coming down anyway. All right, here we go. Got the center of the window, transfer that to the ceiling. That's this line right here. Now I need to find the edge of this joist. We got a bolt for our garage door support right there, and we got these bike hooks. So I know there's a joist here, and I know there's one over there. Gonna use my keyhole saw, punch through, and saw in that direction till I hit the edge. I'm right there. Make a mark. That's the edge of my joist. It's right there. Now I'll go this way and do the other side. There we go.
You made that look easy.
Yeah, I did good. I nailed it. So now we're gonna get our template and put it centered this way in between our bay and centered this way on the window. All right, center line of the bay, center line of the window. I made corresponding center lines on our template. Here's the center of the long edge, top and bottom. Here's the center of the ends, each side. Now I just gotta hold it up there. Got the airflow pointing towards me. I'm gonna line up my marks with my pencil line on the ends first. That's the left one. There's the right one. Now just move to my right a little bit. Boom. Got all four marks exactly where I want them. We've pre-applied our tape. Stick it to the ceiling, just like that. Now, trace that out, cut it with a buzzsaw. Got the hole in our ceiling all done, looks great. Now we're gonna unpack this unit out of the box and connect the factory supplied electrical cable. All right, let's start wiring this thing up. Here's the factory supplied cable. You got two ends, obviously. You got a spade terminal on each end of the cable. This one is uninsulated, and this side is insulated. The uninsulated end that has this plate on the connector is the end that goes at the circuit breaker panel on the cassette in the ceiling. Pretty cool. So you can either take out this knockout or the bottom one and attach this plate to the box with the included screws, or take that plate off and use the 1/2 inch knockout on the end with the 1/2 inch connector, and that's what I'm gonna do. All right, wiring's really easy. The wires are labeled 1, 2, 3, and so is the base plate under the circuit breaker, 1, 2, 3. I've already got 3 and 2 done. I've got the ground attached. So the last one is wire number 1, the red one. So does it go on top of this plate right there, or does it go under the plate like that? Well, it goes under the plate. How do I know that? Well, I've done electrical work for a long, long time, and I can confirm that because that's what the factory did with their connection on this side. All right, the cable's all attached. Really happy with the way it turned out. Let's put the covers back on, but before we do, let's show you under the hood of this thing at what the electronics look like. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Well, that's where my DIY stops, right there. Let's put the screws in, go hang a unit. Backsplash.
And then you want me just to carry it all?
All right, we'll go together.
All right.
Probably be the hardest part of the whole job right here. Nice.
That looks pretty centered.
Indoor unit's all hung. Now that that's all set, let's head outside and hang the outdoor unit. Here's the rail that the outdoor unit hangs on. We're gonna put it right there. That's a nice height for service work on the unit. Now we're fortunate because we have lap sidings, because we can see the nails where they attach the siding to the studs. Made a corresponding mark through our rail onto the siding where the studs are. And I'm not gonna trust that that's a stud. That might be a shiner and might have missed the stud. I wanna know that I hit the stud looking for my drill, because we're gonna be hanging a lot of weight on there. So I got a drill bit in here. I'm just gonna go right there. All right, I'm through the siding. Well, there you go.
Shiner.
Excellent reason why you do it. There's no stud there. I already did this one and I hit the stud. So now I just gotta determine, is it that way or is it that way? Rad, it's your house, you decide.
We're going left.
Let's see
another little.
Oh, another one? Oh yeah, look, right there. Oh. Well, that's too far outside the bracket.
Yikes.
All right, regroup. All right, so here's the plan. If we put this bolt in way down here on the right, the rail's not long enough to catch this stud. That's how far out the framing is. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna bring our rail over to the left. We're gonna catch this stud in that slot right there. And I got a stud here. So we're gonna drill a hole through our rail. Let's mount this. We'll see you in a minute. All right, we're all mounted with two 4-inch structural screws, plenty for this application. We're gonna remove the little level. And don't worry guys, we filled the holes we drilled that didn't work out for us with our favorite sealant, Lexel by Sashco. Big shout out to the team. They sent Jordan, Rad, and I each a box full of Christmas cookies and Christmas swag. Really appreciate it. If you haven't used Lexel, you gotta give it a try. All right, got the outdoor unit installed, got the indoor unit installed. Really simple, really straightforward. Sun's going down, so we're gonna come back tomorrow, run our line sets, run our electrical, and show you how cool this unit really is. We're gonna show you how Mr. Cool it is. We'll see you then. All right, guys, it is the next day. Weather was rolling in, it rained all morning, but anyway, we got the unit on the brackets last night, and I just have it temporarily bolted in place. This wall mount bracket is not a Mr. Cool. It's kind of an aftermarket brand, and I'm not really happy with the vibration isolation washers they sent me. So we're gonna fix all that up later, but we wanna continue with the installation of this unit and get it running this weekend. This box right here on the end, on the right-hand side, is where the line sets come down into the back. And this is where all the electrical goes. So it wouldn't be a stud pack video if we didn't pull out the laser, right? So it's right in front of Rad, and it's projecting a line on the building, centered on this box. Line sets are on the back, all the way up here. Now we've already taken a few measurements this morning, and this marks the spot. X marks the spot. That's our hole into the attic. So we're gonna drill a 3.5-inch hole there. Our line set's gonna come down. Mr. Cool sent us a nice line set cover. We'll come straight down into the back of the unit. It's gonna look nice and clean. That's gonna leave me all the room right here for our disconnect and our whip to come up and feed this unit with electricity. So let me grab the drills. We'll drill a pilot hole, make sure we're in the right spot. Drill a 3.5-inch hole. How's that look?
It couldn't be more perfect.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, perfect spot.
Perfect. Let's run a line set. All right, that came out great. Now, Mr. Cool sends you this sleeve that's intended to go through your wall. Then you can send your line sets, your drain, your power right through there. We don't really have a wall right here. It's just the siding. So we're not going to use that, but we are going to use this decorative cap on the outside just like that. To hold it in place, our favorite sealant, you know it, we love it, Lexel. We're going to put some Lexel on here, use some blue tape until the Lexel dries. May not even need the tape, huh?
Yeah, nice.
I'll put it just in case we bump it. It is line set time. Now, the line set, that's these two copper lines right here, are sealed on each end. And this is pre-filled with all the refrigerant that the system needs. The refrigerant is in this line set. So I can only assume that Mr. Cool has pulled a vacuum in the indoor unit and a vacuum in the outdoor unit. It's sealed as well. So when you make all these connections, all this refrigerant flows into the indoor unit and the outdoor unit, and it's ready to go. No vacuum pumps, you don't have to fool with the refrigerant at all. So here's where we're going to deviate from the instructions a little bit. This end on the outside of the coil goes to the indoor unit, and the part in the inside of the coil goes to the outdoor unit. We're going to deviate a little because we're going to have extra line set. You can't cut this, you got to use the whole thing. And we don't want a coil of this outside behind the unit. We're going to put the coil of extra line set in the attic. So we're going to start from the middle, pull this out, carefully straighten it. Rad's going to carry it in the attic, feed it to me. I'm going to feed it down to the unit and make it up at the outdoor unit first, have the extra in the attic, and make up this to the indoor unit. All right. Can you go up with it so this angle's down like that? Yeah. Okay. Making up our last connection in the attic. Everything's color coded, guys, with these caps. We already got the gray one done. As you can see, our last one's got the blue caps on them. I'm just going to remove those and connect this line set. Now, I've got the wrenches I need to make this happen. Had these forever, good old Sears Craftsman. You probably won't have the sizes you need, so you're going to need a couple of good sized crescent wrenches. That's a 12, probably a 10 and a 12 will get you by, and you're just going to snug it up. All right, this is why you need two wrenches. You got to put one here or here. You got to back this fitting up. You don't want it to spin at all. But now I'm tightening this one, this fitting that came on the line set. It's recommended to have torque wrenches, but boom. I got built-in torque recorders in my hands. We're good to go. Let's check for leaks. Oh yeah, we're good, man. No leaks upstairs, no leaks downstairs. Let's move on to the next step. Next step, Mr. Cool provides you with this sound deadening pad and some insulation to cover this joint right here at the indoor unit. Really important. You don't want this thing sweating. It'll drip on your drywall and you're gonna have a repair. And now a little insulation tube. We're gonna put it over the line set, insulate all that material. Love it. All right, pull the release paper, seal her up. A quick pause in today's project to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, AG1. What is AG1? It tells you what it is right on the package. Comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition. Guys, I said it before, I used to literally take a handful of tabs and caps, a lot of them hard to swallow, to make up for the nutritional gaps that I knew I had in my diet. Now, just the contents of this packet or one scoop and 8 ounces of water, daily habit every morning, chug that down, I am set for the rest of the day. I don't have to worry about all those tabs and caps anymore. So I'm on the road today at Summer and Rad's house, so I got my travel pack ready to go. You guys know that we love the way it tastes, but we've never told you how they get it to taste so good. They use the subtle flavors of pineapple and vanilla, two of my favorites, with no added sugars and no added sweeteners. Quick shake every morning, we're good to go. Guys, it's 2025. If you want to up your nutritional game this year, check out AG1. Just go to drinkag1.com/studpack or click the QR code right here to subscribe. And if you use our link, you're going to get $20 off your first subscription to AG1. Thanks so much to AG1 for sponsoring our video. We really appreciate it. Let's get back to work. All right, guys, back at work. It's a little colder. It's a few days later. We got the line set all run. So we're going to strap that to this 2x4 brace, get it up out of the way. So our next step is to run the drain. So Mr. Cool gives you this adapter to go from the unit to our 3/4 inch PVC pipe. Now, both ends of this adapter look the same diameter, but they actually are not. Only one end fits on the unit, that end, and only one end fits on the pipe. They're real close, but I'm going to make sure I get this end on the pipe and this end on the unit. So we're just going to let it run out the side, down the edge of the building. We've already got the 90 and we've already drilled a hole in our soffit. So are we going to put a trap on it? No, we're not. If your project's being inspected and your inspector wants a trap in the condensate line, of course you got to put one. But one of the best resources for me on HVAC work is another YouTube channel, AC Service Tech LLC. Craig does a great job. He's got a whole video on why you do not need to put a trap on a mini split. We'll put a link for that video down below. So if Craig says we don't need a trap, we're not going to put one. So I'm going to head outside and we're going to stab that 90 with the piece of drain pipe headed down. Then we can get our measurement for our horizontal run.
Nice, nailed it. Yeah, if you can push any more. Perfect.
All right, we've got that 90 down there, dry fitted with the pipe going down outside, down the side of the building. So now we want to make up this end of the building. I've got my coupling on here. And so what I want to do next is cut this piece and then lay the longer piece right here on top and get an exact measurement. I'm going to use Klein cutters. They just sent me these. They sent me a whole box of plumbing tools. Most people associate Klein with electrical tools, right? They've been making tools since the 1800s. So I really appreciate all the plumbing tools they sent me. This cutter right here is good for up to 1 1/4 inch plastic. See how it does. This just is a rough cut. Oh, I can already tell. I'm going to love these. Nice. Now, see how that dropped? I can put it on top of my fitting. Now I can mark the end, measure how far it goes into this adapter, and cut it way back here. All right, right there at my thumbnail, that pencil mark, that's my exact measurement. Let's cut it to length. All right, we got that cut to fit. Let's pull apart that 90, glue it up. It's like all frozen. It's all gelled up. Oh man, I got a new one downstairs, but I didn't think cold weather would affect this stuff. All right, there's our drain, all done. Came out great. Nice work, Rad. Now we are going to insulate it, but we're under this cold snap. Nobody in Texas has insulation right now. And we have a little bit of fall to it. We're going to certainly support this pipe and insulate it later. Speaking of insulation, we have a little bit of this Lineset exposed. We're also going to insulate that. Last step, guys, electrical. All right, guys, we're up here in the main attic above the living room and the kitchen where we just did the big remodel. And when we did all that, we found this. This cable was run behind the gas range for a future electric. So we pulled it out. We didn't need it and we didn't have room for it. But this is going to work great for us to get us power to that mini split. It's already at the panel. It's not connected to a breaker. It's just in the panel. So I'm going to route it through that breezeway right there into the garage. Rad's going to grab the glow rods and the fish tape, and we're going to pull this across. It's not long enough, so we'll make a splice in the garage and then run it all the way to our mini split.
Nice, Paul. Got it.
All right, we're back in the garage attic, and this is as far as this old 8.2 went right there. We knew it was going to be short, but I used it because it's already under the panel. It's going to save us a bunch of time. So we're going to splice it right here. I got a 4 11/16 square box. Need all the room, and I went and picked up some 10.2 this morning. I only need 10.2 because that unit doesn't require a neutral, so I don't have the added expense of that extra wire in this cable. And regarding this cable, 25 feet of this at the Home Depot is $87, over $3 a foot. Got this at my local electric supply house for $1 a foot, a third the cost. And I can buy exactly what I need. In other words, I don't have to buy a 50-foot roll and only use 30 feet of it. That's what I got, 30 feet, $30. We're gonna hook it up, bring you back at the end, show you a really cool connector. Maybe you've never seen it before. Just about got this box all made up, and this is how I'm connecting my wires. These are Polaris connectors. This is an IT4. So the wires go in here. They can also go in here, set screws on top. 2 ports, only 2 wires. You can't put 2 wires in one of these ports. That's not how they work. And they're also rated for copper and aluminum. So say you're working on a remodel, you got aluminum wiring feeding the range and a copper whip. You can use this to connect the two instead of a non-rated wire nut. Just gives you peace of mind. They are pricey, but I absolutely love them. They come in all kind of configurations. So we got the hot left. We're just gonna put these in there like that. Tighten the set screw with a 1/8 inch Allen wrench and put the little cap on. So here's a cool tip about these Polaris connectors. You can take the set screw out and you can see the wire right there. In other words, I know that I'm biting down on the wire with the set screw and my insulation is not under the set screw. All right, there's our junction box, as pretty as I could make it. Tuck everybody in. I'm gonna put the cover on, and then I'm gonna head over there to the other end where we drilled the hole in the wall. I'm gonna start drilling holes in the top plate and in the siding for our disconnect. And then Rad's gonna come behind me and fasten this tin tube down to our framing. All right, over here at the outside wall, ready to drill through the top plates for our tin tube. Got my spider bit, ready to go. Shouldn't take but a minute. Top plate number 1, eject the plug. Top plate number 2. Done. All right, Rad, I'm gonna go downstairs, drill the hole for the disconnect. You're gonna feed me the wire.
You got it.
All right, we are outside. We fished our wire down this outside wall. I was able to pull it through the hole I drilled right behind this connector. Really simple. And in the cable we pulled the 10-2, there's a black and a white and a ground. So we re-identified the white as a hot with the red tape. So here is our line side that's coming from the panel. Here's our load side going in the whip, and the load side lands on L1 and L2 in the terminal block, and the ground lands right here. And then on this cable that goes to the indoor unit, it's the same thing. The numbers are wired 1, 2, 3, and you land them on spots 1, 2, 3. We're almost ready, but we don't have power. Let's go inside, hook up the breaker. We're all wired up on our 2-pole 30. Let's turn it on. Go check the disconnect that we just put outside. All right, we confirmed we got 240 volts out here, 120 from our line to ground. I'm gonna snap that back in. We're gonna put this back in the off position like that. Close that. So we don't have power yet until I flip that disconnect over. So while we're out here, we're gonna open up our refrigerant lines. Right here, I'm gonna remove this cap and then use a 5mm hex key to release all the refrigerant into our system. We'll do the top one first, then the bottom one. You ready, Brad?
Yeah.
We're getting close to having heat in your garage, dude.
Can't wait. It's cold out here. It hasn't hit over 40 all day.
I know. Okay, it stopped. I'm not gonna force it any farther. We'll put the cap back on, snug her up, do the bottom.
I don't know why I thought I was gonna hear a hissing sound.
Me too. All right, we got a cover that goes here, and then we even have a line set cover. Kind of looks like a downspout. We're gonna clean all this up, strap everything down, put some foam in the hole, but that's off camera. Let's go inside and put the cassette cover on the cassette. The cassette cover attaches with 7 screws. Here's the last one. Boom. Now we just have to hook up the cassette cover electronics to the base unit. All right, guys, we got our cassette cover all installed, and there are a few things left to do. We got to insulate the drain. We're going to insulate the indoor cabinet because it's in that garage attic. Put our line set covers on. We'll do all that later, but right now it's like cold in the garage. We want to see if the Mr. Cool unit actually is going to heat our garage. So I am ready to go, Rad. You ready?
Yeah.
I just got to plug this in, and hopefully that cover there for the filters is going to raise right up. All right, bud, here we go. Oh, I heard a beep.
Oh, we on.
Look at that. It's going up. I'm going to come around.
Here it goes.
That's awesome. I can't wait.
Any minute now.
The only heated garage I've ever been in is Jordan's, and now you got one.
It's your turn.
I'm next.
Where's your heated garage?
I'm next.
All right.
And hopefully when that seat's where it goes, we'll get a display over here on the upper left. All right, might need the remote. All right, guys, this is so cool. So Rad and I took a quick lunch while the new Mr. Cool heat pump was heating the garage. It spent about 30, 40 minutes. Remember, it's below 40 outside, so that means the garage was below 40. So we set the unit at 80 degrees, went to lunch, came back, and it is already 68 degrees in the garage. Can you see that, Rad?
Can't.
Can't? All right.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah, 67.
Nice. And if I go up here, it takes about a minute, but I already did this. It's 100 degrees. The air coming off this unit is 100 degrees, 99 right there. There it is. Wow. 101, 102, 103. So remember, a heat pump doesn't create heat, it's moving heat. So in the winter, it's pulling heat from the outside, even though it's 40 degrees, and it's dumping it in the building. And in the summertime, it's taking heat from in the building and it's dumping it outside. I've seen these Mr. Cool units on YouTube for a long time. I'm so glad I finally got to install one. I think it was really good for me and Rad to do one together. It was really simple and I love the way it turned out. So that's gonna be a wrap. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button. But if the like button's too cold, you can warm it up with the heat pump, just like we warmed up this garage. Guys, thanks for all the support. We'll see you right back here on our very next Stud Pack video. I'm gonna stay right here a little while, bud. You got the editing all handled?
Yeah.
All right. Woo!